This is breaking news from News 8.
Our Sunrise Smart Start beginning with some breaking news for students in the Brockport Central School District. A school closed today, the result of a bus driver shortage there. This goes for all grades, pre-K through 12. Staff should report for their regular schedule, but again, students are not going to school in Brockport today because of a bus driver shortage. All right, new this morning, multiple people evacuated after a fire at an apartment building in Rochester earlier this morning. Erica Cost live there with what we know. Erica, good morning.
Good morning, Mark. This is Manhattan Square Apartments in downtown Rochester by Rock Holiday Village. Thankfully, no one had any serious injuries. Everyone got out safe. A family has been displaced. An adult and 5 children were told they're being assisted with Red Cross. All residents are getting assistance from Red Cross, who we've been seeing on scene for a bit. This happened around 2 a.m. Officers say there was significant amount of smoke, a 3-alarm fire. They say they got calls from a number of residents saying they were trapped inside with a heavy amount of smoke in their apartment. Again, thankfully, everyone did get out. As we show you the damage here, we do see windows have been smashed on the first floor where that family was able to get out, and people were also assisting those residents as they were dealing with smoke inhalation. The fire crews were. The cause is under investigation right now. We're working to get more information, but we will update you with the latest as soon as we get it, Mark.
All right, Erica, thank you for the live update in Rochester. For more information on this story, head to rochesterfirst.com. Well, after brokering a deal with Democrats, last night Senate Republicans voted to block President Biden's vaccine mandate on large private businesses, which they are calling unconstitutional. Joined by Washington correspondent Raquel Martin, live in D.C. this morning. Raquel, good morning. What are Senate Democrats saying about this Republican rejection?
Good morning. Well, there were 2 Democrats that did, in fact, join Republicans to try and reverse this vaccine mandate. But still, this effort is largely symbolic. We know that the majority of Democrats call the effort ridiculous, pointing to the fact that the rules allow for employees to opt in for regular testing if they choose not to get vaccinated.
What does last night's vote mean for the mandate overall?
Well, for the mandate overall, we know that this is being taken care of in the courts. We know several federal courts have blocked this order from going into place. It impacts employers with 100 or more employees. And so we'll have to see this play out in the courts. It's unlikely to pass in the House. And we also know that the White House has said they'll veto it if it was to somehow make it to its death. So all eyes on the legislative branch as far as this vaccine mandate goes.
A COVID confrontation in Washington. Raquel, thank you for the live update. The Democrat-led House is not expected to take up this measure. That is what we are told. Well, later this morning, former Senator and presidential candidate Bob Dole will lie in state at the U.S. Capitol. Dole was the 1996 GOP nominee for president and a longtime leader in the Senate. He served our nation in World War II. Dole was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer earlier this year. He represented Kansas and Washington for over 3 decades. Bob Dole was 98 years old. All right, bringing in Christine, having a look at the morning forecast for folks that want to get out for a walk or maybe a run. Maybe the gloves and maybe an extra layer as well before you warm up.
Yeah, for sure. If I had to guess, I don't think there's going to be too many people going out for that early morning walk or run just because it is so cold. But for those few that are deciding to brave the cold, you will definitely want to bundle up. We've got maybe just a few stray leg effect snowflakes as well. Maybe some slick spots, especially on the sidewalks that haven't been treated. But other than that, we should present with little issues, especially once we get into this afternoon. It looks like we quiet down. We'll have mostly cloudy skies. Maybe just a stray, partly sunny sky here or there for about an hour or 2. But other than that, we stay quiet and cloudy and even chilly temperatures breaking into the 30s for this afternoon. Then we await on the warmth. This will be much nicer for anyone looking to get out for a nice walk or jog. We've got 40s on Friday and the 60s on Saturday. So we have that to look forward to, Mark.
Indeed. Christine, thank you. Back to the roads with our sunrise traffic. Just into our newsroom, an accident in Brighton at this hour on Browncroft Boulevard near North Landing Road. The main arteries, 390, 490, 590, and this view of the thruway show everything else is up to speed. Happening today, Andrew Forsyth, the former Greece police chief, will be arraigned after a crash in October that ultimately led to his resignation. Forsyth accused of totaling his police-issued vehicle while under the influence of alcohol and leaving the scene of a property damage accident. Greece police officials originally reported Forsyth allegedly swerved to avoid a deer and then struck a guardrail on 390 at 1 a.m. back on October 21st. To the latest on COVID-19, 750,000 COVID tests are currently being distributed to local leaders across Monroe County. We're told 250,000 free rapid tests will be set aside for school districts. Health officials say if you're exhibiting COVID symptoms, you can get results from a test in about 15 minutes. They add these tests are necessary to ensure a safe holiday season for everyone.
We stand ready to help with this endeavor in any way that we can.
So for those who are planning to gather over the coming weeks, consider using these tests before doing so.
Monroe County Health Commissioner Dr. Michael Mendoza adding the tests are 90 to 95% accurate in detecting COVID. The city of Rochester announcing proposed legislation that would offer incentives for unvaccinated city employees to get the shot. Under the proposal, employees who get the shot before June 30th would get $200. If 75% of the city's workforce is vaccinated before January 31st, all employees who have reported their vaccination to the city would be entered in a drawing for an additional $500. The incentive program would cost about $350,000. That would come from federal pandemic relief funds. The proposal will be taken up by City Council next Tuesday. Well, an investigation continuing into a woman's death after her car went into the Niagara River just 50 yards away from Niagara Falls. That vehicle was discovered shortly after noon yesterday. A Coast Guard helicopter called in to pull the woman's body from that vehicle. State police say the woman was in her 60s. The New York Power Authority did lower water levels to assist first responders. The investigation into this fatal incident, again, is ongoing. Starbucks workers in Buffalo voting on whether to form a union. Those votes will begin to be counted today. Some employees say they felt pressured by the company to disband the movement. Union advocates, including Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, have voiced support. Starbucks says it's not anti-union. CEO Kevin Johnson wrote a letter to workers saying, in part, "We feel strongly that all partners in Buffalo should have a voice in the elections." The chair of the State Higher Education Committee, State Assembly member Deborah Glick, is calling for the resignation of the SUNY Chancellor, Dr. Jim Malatras. Glick says Malatras's knowledge of the misconduct that occurred during the Cuomo administration makes him unqualified to lead the state's universities. Malatras worked under former Governor Andrew Cuomo, taking over as the SUNY Chancellor in 2020. Meanwhile, the Faculty Senate of SUNY is calling on the Board of Trustees to investigate any potential wrongdoing. Come January 1st, New York State will implement a ban on the sale and distribution of polystyrene products, including styrofoam. The move has many restaurant owners worried about the potential impact it could have on to-go or takeout orders, especially as supply chain problems persist. The director of the state's Restaurant Association says he hopes the new ban will not have a negative impact.
Hopefully people have had plenty of time to prepare, hopefully order ahead, change any processes, that if they're still using styrofoam, that they can find ways around it. Styrofoam comes at a very low cost, to the consumer, but sort of a higher cost to the environment. So hopefully people work out a way to sort of build these things into their operating costs and into the prices that they're charging.
In a statement, the DEC commissioner said, quote, "The ban creates enormous long-term benefits for the environment by helping to reduce litter, clean up the recycling stream, prevent macro and microplastic pollution, and bolster the ongoing transition for more sustainable alternatives." Our annual Tops Food for Families food drive is underway. All of your donations once again benefiting FoodLink. Help out today by purchasing a little brown bag of hope at any Tops location. You can also donate non-perishable items or cash. Find a link on our website at rochesterfirst.com, and our all-day drive will be tomorrow beginning on News 8 at sunrise at 5 a.m. Here's what some folks might be talking about at the water cooler this morning. It is a true daily double. Ken Jennings and Maya Bialik will officially continue as tag team hosts of Jeopardy through the rest of the season. So you can tune in and see that here on Channel 8 as well. They're both doing a great job. Christine, with us this morning on a chilly start to the day.
Yes, we are definitely all bundling up this morning as we head out the door.
Yeah.
Temperatures are in the 20s right now, 26 right now in Rochester. We're also seeing just a few leg effect flurries flying across the region. So we've got the wintry feel, the winter chill, definitely still in the air. I don't foresee too many issues though, especially with these leg effect flakes starting to fade. Outside of just a few isolated slick spots, I think we should be good to go for today. This afternoon and into the evening, I think we are in the 30s, maybe a stray isolated snow shower by tonight, but we are mostly quiet. Then our eyes turn to the weekend. We've got high wind watches in effect that we will be tracking with those potentially damaging winds by the time we get to Saturday night. Until then, though, we do hold off on the more impactful weather, Mark.
All right, final Jeopardy answer, Christine. It's cold. The question, what is Rochester in December?
Yes.
That's it for us. Our next update in 30 minutes. CBS Mornings is up next. Have a great day.